You're here for the cheeselog. This is where we go on a curdled journey of a novice, learning and tasting the wild variety of cheeses in the world. I'm no expert. I'll be speaking in a simple shared language of love for cheese, and hopefully learn the nuanced differences between cheeses, a little history along the way, and eventually learn the language of a cheesemonger. Well, hello there, and welcome to the cheeselog. This next episode has a special guest from the breakupbakery, and you can find her Instagram down below. For National Wine and Cheese Day, I thought it'd be a good idea to do what I'd like to call just drunk cheeses that have been soaked in some kind of alcohol. Isn't that fun? I think it's fun. I don't think we're going to get drunk off of that, but you know what? We are going to have some wine today. And we might be getting drunk off of the wine. Cheese wheels are dipped and washed in wine pressings and then left to age in the wine. The entire process can take up to 2.5 years, depending on a few things. Newer types were born in the 1970s, but the process dates to the early years of World War I, back when local farmers used to hide their cheese from hungry soldiers in actual barrels of wine, which ended up in wine-soaked cheese. Some of the cheeses are soaked. Some, like port wine derby, are marbled. And that's thanks to the port wine that has naturally been blended in during the maturing process. So Drunken Goat, this is the classic wine-soaked cheese that we've probably heard of compared to all these others. The Drunken Goat originates from Spain, and it gets bathed in red wine. It's meant to be on the fruity side, although we found it very... For National Cheese and Wine Day, for National Wine and Cheese Day, or National Cheese and Wine Day, depending on how you remember it.
If you're drinking enough wine, you won't remember it.
You won't remember it. We're doing drunken wine and bourbon cheeses at the end of a bottle of wine. Cheers! Cheers!
Thankies!
Girl, sorry for the sound. It's hot in here. We need some kind of fan.
And we're not going to nelly it up, so... I wish I had some cheese jokes.
You don't want me coming up with puns. You guys have heard my puns before. They're so bad.
There is a question as to whether or not we're going to eat the rind on this cheese.
Yes.
We know from previous eating experience with this particular goat cheese, this is just a drunken goat cheese.
The Drunken Goat. Oh, that's
we
right.
already know for a fact we don't really love this cheese.
I want a quarter of it.
Okay.
It's gross, man.
It tastes like cream cheese.
I'm taking, like,
the rind, but it doesn't add anything.
Texture.
It tastes like if a cream cheese block and a mozzarella stick had a baby.
Yeah.
That's not a good
Not
thing.
a mozzarella stick, not string cheese mozzarella, because that's like stringy and textury, just like the blocks.
Yeah.
The ones that are lies.
The cheap
Lie sticks.
mozzarella.
It didn't have the same texture as before. I think the rind did help with that. So
Yeah,
little pieces like that wasn't so bad. It doesn't punch you in the face with like you're eating a spoonful of cream cheese.
Yeah.
Which is a really gross thought, which has grossed me out. That's why I want to eat very tiny bites, because
What kind of crackers are we eating? These are water crackers.
Wheat crackers, very basic. Okay. Actually,
helps.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. It's like eating a totally different cheese.
I don't remember being grossed out by this cheese.
I don't get... Oh, nope. I take it back. I do get cream cheese.
Nope, I ate it all too quick.
And again, I love cream cheese, but I don't want to eat cream cheese like on a cheese plate. I'm going to drink more wine. What are we doing?
Cheese.
Oh, yeah. Wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese. Our next cheese is Merlot. Wine and cheese. That's why we're here. That's what today is. The wine and cheese day.
It just smells like...
I see like a big
cheddar.
crystal in this. Look at this big crystal. Can you see that? Yeah, look at that.
I almost think they salted the rind.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. We are supposed to eat the rind on this one, right?
I think so. No.
Think so. Okay, that's good enough for me. Oh boy.
That's a bit of a ride.
Really strong. Really Parmesan-y.
I don't know that I would get wine, but the wine really did bring out some crazy, unexpected flavors from that cheese.
Less salt crystals than I thought, but it is still very salty.
It is a salty cheese, yeah.
But not crystally.
No, I expected them.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't there. It does have that bite that a Parmesan would have.
That cheese was all bite.
Sharp. It was sharp. It has a Merlot Bellavitano.
Bellavitano.
That's my
An
Bellavitano.
Bellavitano. As a weird aftertaste right now, but that might be the other cheeses.
It is staying with me a little bit. But I don't hate it. I'm surprised because Merlot is not a wine I would ever be like.
I don't really taste wine.
You mentioned the whole sort of starting of this because people were hiding cheese in their wine bottles, right?
Or the barrels, yeah.
Yeah, so does it absorb any of the actual alcohol content? Because alcohol ferments, and that's what causes it to be alcoholic. I'm sure that sounded way less smart in my head. But it's a fermentation process, right?
I suspect.
So,
no.
Like if you...
She's keeping us on the right track.
Okay,
She's not heavily affected by the wine.
It's like a whole different cheese.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a solid like party cracker cheese combination.
Yeah. It's like a new thing. Like it's a third thing.
Yeah. I don't get as much of the punch of flavor, but it's still a powerful combo with the cracker. Like it's not super mild.
It's like all the salt and all the wheat are just like blended together, and it just goes so well. They both just perfectly neutralize each other.
And
it's
the
really
cracker
good.
doesn't overpower it. The cheese doesn't overpower the cracker. It's like a perfect blend.
Yeah, they do really blend together. Like one's not more powerful than the other.
Now we're switching to Syrah.
Syrah soaked, creamy Tuscano. We're just gonna say Syrah soaked cheese.
I mean, based on what we've learned, a lot of things are named after where they're from. So Syrah is also a red. It tends to be a fruitier red than Merlot. I don't know. I don't really know anything about wine.
You know wine better than I know wine.
The rind,
the rind. It's really purple.
Same. Looks like there's salt granules on it.
It's definitely fruitier. I taste the fruity. The rind is saltier, not pungent, but it has the crystals.
Yeah, just a little touch of that braininess.
The aftertaste for me is kind of getting like dry and pungent.
I don't love that finish.
Yeah.
I think with the cracker, it's going to be amazing.
Yes, it's going to be good with the cracker.
But that's not a cheese I would just grab and continue eating.
No.
The Merlot one, I could sit there and eat a chunk or two as a snack and be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Now, unlike the Merlot, I don't get a bunch of flavor at the end. It stayed pretty consistent throughout for me.
For me, I felt like that fruity punch that I was getting spiked with the cracker. The wheat cracker brought that out. And even right now, it tastes like I had something else with the cheese. Like it tastes like I had some kind of stone fruit.
But compared to the Merlot with the cracker, I feel like the Merlot with the cracker, you get like cracker right away. Mild cheese. This one, I feel like you get cracker and cheese kind of like comes into itself. Not bad with the wine either.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
I wouldn't think that necessarily the sweeter cheeses or the fruitier cheeses go better with the wine. I would think it's like the savory one. No, this one goes really well.
I don't know how good the wine's going to go with our last cheese.
It's going to be interesting. Our last cheese is not a wine cheese, but it's a bourbon cheese.
Oh, this is the same, the Bellavitano.
Yeah, the Bellavitano.
I'm sorry, Italians. I'm offending Italians now.
I'm a little Italian, so it's okay. Because that's how that works.
It's a little okay.
It's a little okay.
I know that Bella is like a pretty or beautiful.
Pretty beautiful.
I don't know what Vitano is.
It's got those...
So this is a bourbon cheese.
Bourbon cheese.
These Merlot, Syrah, the Drunken Goat, I don't really get the flavors of wine in the cheese.
Yeah.
So I'd always be curious if this would taste like bourbon.
Let's see.
With like caramely notes. Okay. You do get the bourbon.
Ooh, that's coming afterwards.
That
so
kind
at first,
of caramely.
It was salty, then it was a little caramely, And now that afterwards, it has like
Wow.
that bourbony flavor. Like it definitely tastes like if you've had bourbon in any like desserts, like caramels or like
Yeah,
but
with
like,
that sweet whiskey, smoky.
yeah, it has that at the end. It's really subtle too because the cheese is kind of strong and salty. Yeah, like there's a sense of sweetness, but
Yeah.
that I'm looking for bourbon. That makes it a lot easier to
Absolutely.
detect. I don't think I would be able to detect it otherwise.
I would have that cheese without any label.
Yeah.
And be like, wow, that's a different cheese that I've never had before. I don't know what that would best pair with.
Bourbon. Cracker time?
All right.
Booze time or cracker
Cracker
time?
time. Cracker time.
Cracker time.
That's the name of my new country album.
Cracker time! It tastes nice with a cracker.
It's an interesting harmony. At first, I thought I didn't like it, but then the sweetness from the cheese kind of hits the cracker and brings out that wheat flavor.
It brings out the wheat flavor a lot. It's like if you ever have like honey on bread and like the wheat just like comes out of it.
Yeah.
It has that kind of note to it.
That was a really solid pair with the cracker.
Yeah, that was really nice.
They really did kind of live harmoniously.
They lived until they died together.
Cheese and crackers.
Rip cheese and crackers.
2019.
Pour one out. And so we're drunk.
Are we going to start talking about poop logs?
We could talk about poop logs. I named it the cheeselog knowing that it wasn't the best name. Is it going to be a cheese log or is it going to be a poop log? I don't know. Honestly, it might just come out as cheese.
Are we done eating cheese?
No. But we have one more episode.
That's exciting.
I know. I'm going to say cheers, and that's going to be the end of this episode. Happy wine and cheese, or cheese and wine day.